I went to public school from kindergarten to third grade and was pulled out. And then I went to public school again in my 9th grade year because I felt like I might be missing something. I think I bought into the idea of the American stereotypical high school that's portrayed in movies and television. And I thought maybe that's something that I should experience or want to. I absolutely despised it. I felt like I was held back that year and my academics suffered, mental health suffered. I really did not enjoy it. And so I finished up the rest of my high school career homeschooling.
You know why you didn't enjoy it? Because you're healthy. Let me answer the question. So this is very important. You suffered academically. There is no question that kids in the vast majority of homeschool kids learn more than kids in a regular high school. You feel that that's correct?
Absolutely. And I did, on paper, I did well. I ended up first in my class out of about 1,200 students that year.
And that's without doing any work.
Exactly. But I had no joy of learning, which I had had for my entire academic career up until that point. I felt like I was sitting in a room for 8 hours while I was being talked at, and I didn't retain as much information as I had in previous years. I felt like what I was being taught, the curricula, was missing something. I had already, been supplementing other kinds of pieces of education from my family. I was doing online classes while still in public school to try to supplement it because my...
So you had learned more in every subject as a homeschool child?
Absolutely.
That's fascinating. So you stayed in a regular high school for 1 year?
1 year.
And then asked to return?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Your homeschool, I don't even know if the word class is correct. How many did you meet with on a daily basis?
None. It was
just you and your parents?
It was just so from third grade to about or 8th grade. It was my mom creating the curriculum. She did a classical type education.
And just with you?
Just with me.
So how did you meet friends?
I played tons of sports. I was a gymnast. I did ballet for 14 years. I did musical theater. I would take art classes. I
Where
volunteered.
would you do that if you weren't in a regular school?
Community centers. Honestly, a lot of homeschoolers, you can be part of like...
Did you have close friends?
Very close friends.
When my parents went to public schools in the United States, they learned a lot, including to treasure the United States of America and liberty. And they learned a lot of math and science and music and art and grammar and literature. And it was great. It was a great thing. Not anymore. Most public schools and most private schools. This is not an anti-public school rant. Most schools are awful. They're not just failures in terms of teaching. In Minnesota, the latest statistic is that half of the students are not at their proficiency level of their age or their grade in science or math. Half. I wish they would do one on reading comprehension or ability to write a sentence. How about this? Ability to define a sentence. So I'll bet you more homeschooled kids can write a sentence. If I say, write a sentence, and would know what I'm talking about, than kids in the most prestigious public or private school. So to me, there's no question that the corruption, I mean, I felt this when they started teaching sex education at school. What is their business? I didn't learn sex ed at school. Even by 7th grade, I knew how babies were made. You know who told me? My parents. Because this is a family broadcast, I will tell you the details of what kids have been learning. Forget LGBT. Well before LGBT. Sex ed started when I was a kid, and I didn't understand that. Why? Why is it being taught? And by the way, remember, there's a finite number of hours in a day, in a school day or any day. So if you're going to teach sex ed, then you're going to not teach something else, like the definition of a sentence, or for that matter, music or art. So anyway, I'm totally pro homeschooling. The Fireside Chat is made possible solely thanks to Prager United members. Please consider joining Prager United at pragerunited.com.